So question 8, the graph on the coordinate diagram below shows the relationship between degrees Celsius and degrees Fahrenheit. So the axes do not start at 0, 0 in the diagram, so that could be important later. So for parts AI and AII, show your work on the diagram above. So you must show your work. So normal temperature for an adult is 37 degrees Celsius. Write 37 degrees Celsius in degrees Fahrenheit. So it gives us to us in degrees Celsius. So therefore, we're looking at the bottom here because it tells on the bottom it's degrees Celsius. So if we go to 37 degrees Celsius, which is here, and then what you need to do is you need to draw a line up, straight up. So use a ruler in the exam, and then see where it meets the graph, and then go across. So if you go across here, I can't do it very well here, but it should be in between there. So it should be 98, in between 98 and 99. So it's 98.5 degrees Fahrenheit. A temperature above 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit is a high temperature. Write 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit in degrees Celsius. So, so on the diagram, you'll notice there it doesn't actually. Oh no, sorry, I'm reading wrong. So 100.4. So 100.4 is in here, degrees Fahrenheit. What you need to do is you need to draw a line across to where it meets the red line, and then you need to go down. So it's, I think it's 38 exactly. So if you use a ruler, go straight down. It should get you to 38. The point S is marked on the graph. Estimate the coordinates of the point S. So remember, with plot coordinates, you go along the x-axis first, or you go along the horizontal first. So it's on the line 32 there. Really, it's up from 32. So 32 would be our x coordinate. And then it's in the middle then, in between 89 and 90. So I'd say go for an 89.5. So 32, 89.5. So there'll be a margin of error there in that as well, where if you're a little bit out, you'll still get the marks as long as you're within certain numbers. So the points 35.95 and 30.86 are also on the graph of the line. Use these 2 points to work out the slope of the graph. So what you need to use here is you need to use slope formula. So that is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you can label them then x1, y1. x2, y2. So we're going to do 86, take away what y1 is. So y1 is 95. And then we're going to put that over x2, which is 30. And we're going to take away 35. So therefore on top we're getting 86. So 86 take away 95 would be minus 9. So minus 9, and on bottom 30 take away 35 is minus 5. So minus 9 over minus 5. And then minus 9 over minus 5. So you can, a minus divided by a minus will give us a plus. So the answer will be 9 over 5. Or you could say 1 and 4/5 if you want. The table below gives two inequalities, so this is inequalities then, and a description of the inequalities in T. So complete the table by filling in the missing description and inequalities. First one, T is less than 36, so the temperature is less than 36. So what that inequality in the first one means is T is less than 36. Remember, if the arrow is uh, pointing towards the left, it means less than. If it's pointing towards the right, it means greater than. If it has a line 100 and it's facing towards the left, it means less than or equal to. And then if it has a line 100 and it's facing towards the right, it's greater than or equal to. So the next one down, and so for part 2, 36. So what this means is that T is in between 36 and 38. So temperature is between 36 and 38. And then you have to show what the equality is. The inequality is then for temperature is greater than 38. So all we need to do is T stands for temperature, so T, and then we need to do greater than sign. So that's arrow facing towards the right. Um, and then 38. T is greater than 38. And then part E, graph the inequality T is less than 36 on the number line, where T is an element of the real numbers. So T is a real number. So if T is a real number, that means it can be any fraction or decimal or anything. It could be any possible number. So it could be anything in between the numbers either. So T is less than 36. So I'm going to put a circle on 36 anyway. That's always the starting point with inequalities. When you're putting them on a number line, put a circle on whatever the number is. So T is less than 36. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at numbers that are less than 36. So we're looking at the 35 and the 34. So it could be 35 and it could be 34. But because T is an element of the reals, it could be anything in between here either. So it could be 35.5, or it could be 34.1 or 34.372 or anything. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to shade in everything from the circle. So we have to shade in the line. So we have to make a bold line there, or shade, or just shade it in. So as long as you show that you shade it in, you're fine. Because T is less than 36, then we don't shade in this circle in here. If that had a little line underneath, if it had T is less than or equal to 36, what you would do then is you'd shade in that there, you'd shade in the circle itself, but it's not, so we leave it open. So if it's less than or if it's greater than, then you leave the circle. You always leave the circle